Alicent wrote many letters. None were ever sent. Each one burned inside the Sept, offered to the gods in silence, one for every time they failed to answer her. These are her burning letters, one for each of the 7. Letter 1. The First Flame. Written by a girl who still believed the gods might be listening. Alicent Hightower, mourning the loss of her mother, writes to the mother, the divine figure who was meant to protect the innocent. Her voice is gentle, but edged with grief, and somewhere beneath it, the first flicker of resentment. To the mother, on the death of her own, to the mother who is supposed to keep us whole. She was soft-spoken and smelled like dried roses and honey soap. She sang when I was ill. She smoothed my hair when Father lectured. She told me the gods always watch over girls like me, and now she's gone. No sign, no miracle, just a chill that worsened, and silence. You took her, without warning, without mercy, and all I got in return was linen sheets that smelled of her, fading, fainter, until even that left me. They say it was her time, that the stranger was kind, that your light would comfort me. But your Sept is cold, your statues are stone, and my prayers taste like ash. If you are real, if you hear girls like me, then why didn't you stop it? Why do you demand devotion and offer no protection? She was the best part of me. And now I only have duty. And the echo of her voice telling me to believe. I am trying, but I am angry, and I don't know what to do with that. Alicent. Letter 2. The Blessing. Written by a girl who still believed friendship could last forever. Alicent Hightower, wrapped in the warmth of Princess Rhaenyra's affection, writes to the maiden, the goddess of innocence, youth, and beginnings. Her voice is soft and full of wonder, and somewhere, beneath it, the first trace of doubt. To the maiden, on the joy and ache of Princess Rhaenyra's friendship, to the maiden who watches over girls still unbroken, I think you sent her to me. Rhaenyra. She makes everything feel brighter, louder, braver, more alive. She offered me a dragon ride once, just like that. No ceremony, no care that I was trembling inside. I said no, of course, but I wanted to. Gods, I wanted to. And when she tore a page from that book we both loved, just because she could, I felt scandalized. But I also wanted to be like her. Fierce. Certain. She doesn't flinch. Doesn't ask permission. She speaks and the world bends. And when she calls me only Alicent, I feel like I'm someone, not just a daughter or a shadow in the court. I think I love her. Not the marrying kind, but the kind that makes you want to live more bravely than you ever knew how. Sometimes I wish I were like her, and sometimes I worry that I never will be. If she is your gift, then thank you. I will guard her with everything I have, for as long as I am allowed. Alicent. Letter 3. The Gown. Written by a girl who still believed obedience was a virtue. Alicent Hightower, dressed in a gown that was never hers, writes to the crone, the goddess of wisdom, foresight, and fate. Her voice is careful and full of restraint, and somewhere, beneath it, the first spark of fear. To the crone, on the end of girlhood. To the crone, who sees the path before us, before we dare to look. I wore the green gown today, the one father chose, wide at the neck, like an open door, soft at the sleeves, like I'm meant to be touched, not mine. He didn't tell me what to say. He never has to. I've learned the shape of his silences, I brought the king his book. I read to him. I smiled when I wanted to bite my nails until they bled. He looked at me kindly, as if I were soft light, as if I were meant to be there. His kindness frightened me. It made me feel like a lamb, being welcomed to the slaughter. I wonder if you saw this future, old woman, if you looked down from wherever you sit, and smiled when he reached for my hand. Princess Rhaenyra asked where I'd gone. I told her I was reading. I didn't say, for whom. I hated myself for lying. I hated father more, for making the lie necessary. I am slipping out of girlhood, like a gown that no longer fits. I miss laughing under trees. I miss being only Alicent. I don't know what I'm becoming, but I think you do, and I don't know whether I should thank you or curse you. Alicent. Letter 4. The Fall. Written by a girl who once believed in truth, or perhaps a woman now, who's learned to ask for judgment instead. To the father, on judgment, betrayal, and the breaking of trust. To the father, who weighs our truths on scales I can no longer see. She swore to me. She looked me in the eye and swore on her mother's memory. And I believed her. I believed her because I wanted to, because I missed her, because I missed us, because I thought, just once, truth might feel like friendship. And then Sir Criston told me everything. He said her name with hesitation in his voice, like he wished he didn't have to speak it at all. And still, part of me wished he hadn't, because now I cannot pretend. Now, I look at her and see a crown that was always waiting, and I know I will never get to choose. She played, and I prayed. She sinned, and I suffered. And what am I now? A loyal daughter, a silent wife, a queen in every hall, but none to walk beside me. Tell me, Father, is this your justice? That one woman may burn through life like wildfire, and another must carry her ashes in silence. I don't want your justice. I want your judgment, and I want it to fall. Alicent. Letter 5. The Blade. Written by a woman who has held her tongue too long, who was raised to keep the peace, no matter the cost, who has finally broken her own silence and spilled more than just words, to the warrior who puts the sword in our hand even when we don't know what to do with it, to the warrior on fury, shame, and a strange kind of pride. I don't remember grabbing the blade. One moment I was watching her lie, watching them believe her, and the next, my hands were shaking, my nails torn again. My heart felt like it might split open. And then I moved. Not like a queen, not like a mother, not like a good woman, but like someone who had finally had enough. I remember the way they looked at me, like I'd gone mad, like I had defiled something holy. And for a moment, I thought I had. But then my father came to me, and he said he was proud. He told me I had shown strength, that I had fought, that I had finally stepped out from under her shadow. And I didn't know what to say, because all I could think was, why did it take blood for you to see me? I am not proud of what I did, but I'm not sorry either. And that frightens me more than the blade ever did. Am I still your daughter, warrior? Or have I become someone else entirely? Alicent. Letter 6. The Crown. Written by a woman who gave everything to build something lasting and watched it rot from within, who was told to endure, to obey, to believe, and now wonders if the gods are mocking her. To the smith on the burden she built and the children who carry it poorly. To the smith, who shapes the world with hammer and fire. Was it you who forged this ruin? I did everything right. I obeyed. I smiled. I suffered in silence. I prayed even when my mouth tasted like ash. And this is what I've been given. Aegon sits the throne like it's a stool in a brothel. He drinks. He gropes. He laughs when he should listen. And that is our king. My daughter speaks in riddles and stares at things no one else sees. She marries her brother and calls it duty. She is me, all over again, only sadder, more fragile, closer to the edge. And Aemond, God's help me, I don't know what he is. He burns to be remembered. And I fear what he'll do to ensure it. You gave me children. I gave you a dynasty. And not one of them brings me peace. Did you do this to teach me something? Or are you just laughing behind the forge? I gave up everything for a realm that fears me, for sons who do not love me, for a realm that scorns me, even as it rests on what I built. I built this, but I do not want it. And if you are just, if you are real, then melt it down, before it consumes us all. Alicent. Letter 7. The Silence. Written by a woman who prayed until her knees bled, who gave everything to the gods and received only silence, who once feared the stranger and now waits for him, to the stranger on the death of faith and the woman she used to be, to the stranger who does not answer, only watches. Aegon can't leave his chambers. The maesters will not say if he'll ever be the same. He looks at me like he wants to leave, to vanish. Helena is more lost than ever, rocking, humming, seeing things I cannot. I cannot reach her. Aemon does not ask for anything. He simply takes. While his brother bleeds and his sister breaks, he sharpens his claim. He does not see a family. He sees power. And outside our walls, the lords and ladies circle, waiting to feast on what's left. And the council? Criston, Larys, the men I raised, they kicked me from the very ladder I built for them. The gods, the 7 I gave everything to, are as silent as ever. I used to beg the gods for guidance. I knelt until my legs shook. I lit candles. I gave them devotion. And what did they give in return? A drunken king, a cursed girl, a realm spiraling toward fire. I was asked to be good. I was asked to be right. And now, I have been spent and discarded. Because you, stranger, you were always waiting. You took my mother, my peace, my voice. I have nothing left to give but my life. So come for me. I am ready. Alicent. If these letters have touched you, please like this video and subscribe to Letters from Westeros. The archive grows still, and your favourite secrets may yet be revealed.